wake up, it's time to be free. Wake up, was blind, now I see. Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
What's up, it's Jullien Gordon here, and welcome to another episode of your Daily Jules, where I drop nuggets of wisdom to help you become more and more free, to increase your degrees of freedom. It does not matter how many degrees you have. The only thing that matters is your degrees of freedom. It does not matter how much money you make. What matters is how you make money. And so today I want to share, I got a great question from Sean, who asked, is precision and timing more important than hustle when it comes to business? Sean, really quickly, I do think it's a combination of all of them, but I want to share with you a framework that I'm still working on, but I'll give you what I have now around how to work smarter. I've only taught this to a few people. I've done a lot of writing and thought about it, but I've only shared it with a few people, and I'm going to share it with you now because I think it'll be helpful to you and your question. There is a degree of hard work that you need to engage in, but a lot of people who say hard work is a solution just haven't truly analyze what causes success. So Malcolm Gladwell, in the book Outliers right here, he did some research on Hockey Hall of Famers, and he found that they were all born in the same like 3-month period. And he was like, why is that? What he found is that 3-month period was right after the cutoff date for the age delineations in the youth hockey leagues. So by the time the season started, these youth were physically stronger than the other youth who were younger by a few months, because you grow, the difference in growth at that stage is huge. And so they could physically dominate the smaller people who were literally just born a few months later, and then they got tracked into amateur leagues and things of that nature, and that's why he found so many hockey players born in Hall of Famers born in a certain 3 months, right? But if you go and ask a Hockey Hall of Famer, they're not going to say that, yeah, the fact that I was born in January or February was really key to my success. They are always going to default. Everybody who's successful is always going to default to hard work. Did they work hard? Yes, I'm sure they worked hard, and I'm not saying that they didn't. But the default answer is always going to be hard work, but that's literally not everything that goes into success. Hard work is one single factor to success. If hard work was what made people successful, then day laborers would honestly be the wealthiest people and most successful people in the world. They work harder than absolutely anybody, right? But that's not it. You and I know that hard work alone is not it. How many times have you worked harder than somebody and you knew you were working harder, but they were having greater results than you, right? So if that's the case, then hard work can't always be the answer, and it's not the holy grail, right? So I want to share with you what I call the 8 laws of soft work, and I'm going to do my best to articulate them to you at this moment in time. So first and foremost, the first one is, are you doing it for the right reason? The right reason. So two people competing in some sort of way. The question is, why are you doing the work? The person who feels like this work is more purposeful for them, they're going to have a greater source of internal and spiritual energy that they can access than somebody who's doing it for the quote-unquote wrong reason. So you want to have a deep sense of connection with why you're doing what you're doing, okay? The next one is right teaching. Right teaching, right? Were you actually taught to do the work in the best way possible, right? Just because you can do the work, does that mean you're doing it the right way? So, for instance, Lonzo Ball, people are questioning his shooting, right? The way he shoots, he can get blocked more in the NBA with taller players. It might have worked in college, but at this level, it's not working. So was he actually taught the right way to shoot, right? Is he shooting like Steph Curry? No, the numbers are different, right? And so did you actually get the right teaching? Even if the teaching that you did get got you this far, is it going to be enough to take you to the next level? So sometimes when sometimes we aren't trained properly, and we have to go through a process of actually unlearning the way we learned it, even though it's worked for us up until this moment, but now we're hitting a wall and we have to actually revisit. So for example, storytelling or public speaking. I've taken classes on all those, and for a long time I thought I was doing it the right way. And of course, there's no particular way that you can tell a story or structure a speech. But once I got taught the right techniques and strategies, then I could do it more powerfully, and I could touch more lives and impact more people from the stage. And as Bruce Lee says, the point of technique is to one day have no technique. I'm paraphrasing, right? So you learn all these techniques to one day not need technique, but were you actually taught right? And I don't mean formal training. I'm not asking you to go get another degree or certification or anything like that, but did you learn from somebody who has the success that you truly desire, okay? So then this one is so key, and this is what you're speaking to, Sean, is right timing. Right timing. So for my speaking business, this is really key because, or just even if you look at a farmer, if a farmer is to go plant strawberries and watermelons and oranges and things of that nature right now, what is the likelihood of him or her bearing a great crop? It's terrible. It's wintertime right now, right? But if they actually go plant seeds at the right time, for the same amount of effort and energy, they're going to have completely different results. For the same amount of effort and energy, they're going to have completely different results, right? And so timing is truly essential. Timing is essential for a business. For instance, Webvan came along before Fresh Direct, before Amazon Fresh. Webvan was trying to deliver groceries, but people hadn't adopted the internet. This is like the 90s. People hadn't adopted the internet to that degree yet and weren't comfortable with that. And so Webvan, even though they were ahead of the game, didn't succeed. Right? They were too early for their time. TiVo is another example. So timing is really, really important. So you want to have the right timing. The next is the right tools. The right tools. Are you working with the right tools? There are, for instance, there's technologies that I use in my business today that have made my life so much easier, that existed before, but I didn't have the awareness or consciousness of them. And so business was harder. I was doing a lot more things manually than I currently do now. And so I was putting in more effort and energy. I was working harder simply because I didn't have the right tools. And sometimes we try to duct tape technology together or solutions together, when if we simply had the right tool, we could be more effective. Some of you have slow computers right now. I have slow internet right now. And that tool is actually effective. Let's say the slow computer, that tool could be actually affecting you from actually creating the output that you're meant to create in the world. You don't have the programs that you need. You don't have the memory. You don't have the RAM that you need to actually run those programs. And it's actually cramping your creativity, right? Because you don't have the right tool to actually do what it is that you are meant to do. And so getting clear on the right tools is really important, okay? The next is the right terrain. The right terrain. So if I asked you right now, which is faster, a Ferrari or a Hummer? Most people would say a Ferrari, right? A Ferrari, I don't know, what is it, 200 miles per hour? That thing can get up there. A Hummer probably can't get to that. It's big, it's bulky, etc. But if I say I didn't finish, what if I said that it was an off-course race? All of a sudden, the Hummer becomes faster because it is now in the right terrain. For a business, that means being in the right market, right? So when we were talking about Sean's home health care, physical therapy business, you want to be in the right market, right? So in an off-course terrain, a Ferrari can't go over a pebble that's bigger than the top of this dry erase marker. It's going to get stuck on a pebble. So a Hummer will beat it in an off-course terrain. So regardless of the Ferrari was built for speed, it can win on a straight or flat course. But if it's in a different terrain that it was not designed for, the Hummer will win. So this is some criteria in terms of how to work smarter, okay? So the next one is the right technique. The right technique. So this is different from the right teaching. Teaching is more of having the right mindset about your approach to money. So a lot of people for a long time think that they have the right mindset for money, which is, oh, I need to save. I need to stockpile and then I can retire early. No, that's not the right mindset for money. Money is called currency. It's supposed to be flowing. It's always supposed to be active and engaging and going out there and bringing more back to you. It's not just supposed to be sitting in a savings account actually losing value. So that's the right teaching. The right technique is really how you actually do something, right? How you execute it. And to the extent that you are using the right technique at the right time, that's going to increase your effectiveness and likelihood of getting the right the results that you truly desire. So that's the right technique. Right technique. How are you working in the way you're working? 7 is right action. Right action. Are you taking the right action at the right time? Are you taking the right action at the right time? This is actually what you're working on. So, two people starting the same business, usually their calendars are going to look different. They're starting the same business in different parts of the country, and their calendars are probably going to look different. One is focused on doing this, and this, and the other one is focused on doing this, and this, and this. One of them is actually doing more of the right stuff than the other, right? If they're trying to build a company towards the same similar vision, one of them is likely doing more right stuff than the other person is, and as a result, they're going to get better results. So are you taking the right actions? Not what's emergency, not what's in your face right now, not what you think you need to be doing, but are you taking the right actions that are actually going to propel and set up your company for growth? And then finally, the last one is right effort. Right effort. This one is key because this is oftentimes associated with hard work. The right effort. You do not want to be pressing the pedal to the metal at all times. That is not what hard work is. Success is really about being able to push the pedal to the metal at the right moment in time. So you keep talking about precision. Your question is about precision and timing. You want to be able to press the pedal to the metal at the right time. So one of the oldest teams in the NBA for a long time was the San Antonio Spurs, right? And the way you win a game in the NBA is you have at least one more point than the other team after the end of the fourth quarter. And so Greg Popovich, knowing this, as the coach, knowing this, he doesn't try to blow out other teams by 20, 30, 40 points, right? Because now he's working his old players for a lot harder and a lot longer to try to win a game that you only need to win by 1 point. And so he rests them. He has one of the best resting strategies for his players, right? But if hard work was really about just pressing the pedal to the metal 100% of the time, then he would leave his starters in and they would go forever. When I was younger, I used to be confused about why Michael Jordan sat on the bench at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I completely didn't understand it. The Bulls are down by 5. They're going in the fourth quarter. The game's 12 minutes away from ending. Why is the best player in the world sitting on the bench? But then I understood that was the resting strategy. Every athlete has a resting strategy. In fact, fitness is defined as your speed of recovery. And so this is really important that right effort isn't about applying 100% effort at all times. No. You want to apply the right effort at the right time, right? When it's time to press on the gas, you better be able to press on the gas. But the goal isn't to be on the gas at all times. Even marathoners, they have strategies of when they actually slow their pace and when they accelerate their pace. They do not stay at a consistent pace. They do not just start the race off at a sprint, right? Because if you start off at a sprint, you're not going to make it to the end. You're not going to make it to 26.2. I think that's what it is. You're not going to make it if you start off as a sprint, just pressing the metal. You have to actually find those moments where you need to press it on. This is why you see them speeding up at the end of the race. Some of them actually saving for that last mile or 2 miles to actually accelerate and catch the other people who have actually run out of gas because they were pressing too hard early on. So these are some ways to look at how to work smarter. Are you doing it for the right reason, right? Do you have the right mindset? Are you doing it at the right time? Do you have the right tools? Are you doing it in the right terrain or right market? Are you using the right technique? Are you taking the right action? Are you applying the right amount of effort at this particular moment? And I think if you look at your work before you just jump in and dive in, you say, is this the right thing to be doing right now? Am I fully here? Am I fully committed? Was I taught to do this in the right way? Is this the right time, etc.? Are we doing this in the right way, in the right place? I think that you'll find yourself being more effective and working smarter and not just working harder. All right? So I'm continuing to work on these. This is the first draft of the book, Work Softer. It is not out yet. There's a lot more thought energy being put into it. I haven't mastered it, but these are my initial thoughts. And I'm not sure what the market is for this yet. So I haven't put it out. Again, you want to have product market fit. So with that, this is another Daily Jewel. I hope these questions, these 8 points, give you something to think about as you are doing work. I do not want you to be working harder just for the sake of working harder. I want you to be working smarter, and I think thinking about these things will help you. So with that, this is Jullien Gordon with another Daily Jewel, and I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much.
I hope these mindsets, metaphors, and methodologies blessed you. If you desire more freedom, go to getfreenow.com to subscribe to the show on iTunes, YouTube, or Facebook, and get 4 of my best courses in the Freedom School for 100% free.